Hey guys, I thought I'd make a quick video on injury prevention. And obviously, you shouldn't max out or that kind of stuff. Maybe not do single so often and etc. etc. But I would like to focus in this video more on the nutrition side of injury prevention. In that, what I have found in my life is that every time I had walk away from diet, which includes these two things, problems has appeared, either of some kind of joint pain in the knee or in the hip or back pains or something like that. And the two things that I think are key in injury prevention are cartilage and C vitamin. Like obviously, like there is literature which talks about cartilage and the key nutrients in the cartilage are like I think it's something like glucosamine and chondroitin. I can put the name here, but like there are supplements that you can take which in a sense just isolate the active ingredients in the cartilage so that you don't have to eat cartilage. You just eat the supplements and then you can supplement C vitamin. But what I have found is that the actually eating cartilage is works a lot better, and also together with a natural C vitamin source. So you get the natural cartilage and natural C vitamin instead of the supplements. And what I have found works best for me for the cartilage is just these chicken thighs. Because in the chicken thigh, you have cartilage here, and then you have a cartilage here in the joints and here in the hip joint. So what you do, you just take off the skin. You don't have to eat the skin because it's kind of high fat. And then you eat the meat, and then you eat the cartilage also. You only left the bones. Make sure to eat the cartilage from this. And if you make it like, if you boil it, the chicken thighs, you so that you get a bone broth kind of substance. You might as well drink the bone broth, the liquid, since some of the collagens and nutrients has gone into that water. So you might maybe want to eat that too. But the key is to eat the cartilage. And then what I personally do, I just eat spinach and get my C vitamin from the spinach. And I know some people say that spinach has some anti-nutrients, which it does have, and hence I boil it a little bit and then I eat it after I have boiled it. But obviously you could just eat some fruits and something where there is say a vitamin and get your C vitamin that way. But that's the two things which I have found really take away all my pains and aches. Natural cartilage and natural C vitamin. And also one thing about the C vitamin source is that I prefer it to be green vegetables because green vegetables has K1 vitamin, which is theorized that it will turn into K2 vitamin, which plays a key role in your bone structural development. Like there is studies and all kind of scientific sources talking about K2 vitamin and how essential it is for your bones. So that's actually 3 points: cartilage, C vitamin, and K2. And C vitamin and K2, if you take some kind of green vegetable which you do not overcook, it should contain pretty high amounts of these two nutrients, the C vitamin and K1, which will into your body turn into K2. And also the chicken thighs will also contain some K2 vitamin. So that's what I have really found that helped me tremendously. If I would not have made any changes, like if I would have to live without cartilage sources and natural C vitamin sources, I wouldn't be able to do strength training anymore. So these are, in my opinion, very key things which you should prioritize. Obviously, the cartilage source doesn't have to be the chicken thigh, but since there it's really hard in the modern supermarket to find meat sources or products which has cartilage in it, like you cannot find any beef or lamb or goat so that there would be cartilage in the product. So that's why the chicken thighs, in my opinion, are pretty ideal because they usually are pretty don't cost that much and you get the cartilage from them. And I would also recommend that you do not find the products which has the marinade in it. You just buy the natural chicken thigh without any additives because what those marinades do, there is a lot of salt in them. So another thing, if we add a fourth thing, we had cartilage, C vitamin, and K2. If we put the fourth thing to consider is inflammation. And salt is actually will increase inflammation in your body, as does simple sugars like sugar and even sometimes even like honey or something. If you constantly consume inflammatory foods or other type of activity which causes inflammation, you could develop joint pain from that. So take that also into consideration that maybe if you have a training days, you might want to consider some type of carbohydrate cycling or choose your carbohydrate sources so that they are not very high in the inflammation index, the SART. So yes, those kind of things. And going back to the previous point, if you find some kind of like in my supermarket, there used to be a product which was a bull tail, like the male cow and its tail, which which has very much this cartilage section between every joint of the tail. But for some reason they discontinued that product, so I no longer have access to it. So the chicken thighs are my go-to in cartilage sources. So yes, that kind of thing, and I think it's very important. Like there's a lot of talk about people using peptides and using that kind of new substance or that kind of thing or this kind of thing, but very little about what you could just eat and improve the cartilage and ligaments and joints and tender strength that way. Like there are even doctors and surgeons online which talk about these things, that diet is really the thing that prevents many of the degrading diseases from appearing. So I think it would be very beneficial for, even if you don't lift, you just sit on a computer and you have very non-athletic life. Those back pains and those knee pains and stuff like that, you could really benefit for adding a cartilage source into your diet and adding some kind of a green vegetables where you get K1 vitamin and C vitamin naturally together, those things. And also watch out for those highly inflammationous food sources like simple sugars and even honey or something like that. But I think that's it. Try to guys keep your shit not breaking, and you could enjoy the fitness and just the ability to move without pain long in your life. So you don't have to go under the knife or have to go through any expensive procedures, because the reality just is that the medical industry at the moment is kind of predatory. Like if you go there with the back pain or knee pain, they rarely will consult you on how this problem started. They just sell you a quick fix on it. Like maybe we give you an artificial joint, and they tell you things which they can charge you big time without just saying maybe you should just eat cartilage and C vitamin and K2 vitamin source or something and see will it improve. Like, and by the way, on the amounts, I think you should maybe aim half a kilo of greens a day, and on the chicken thighs I just eat three chicken thighs a day. Even though like that's what it averages to. At the time I'm cutting, so that's why I haven't posted any feats of strength, because I'm cutting weight and I'm getting to a lower weight. And the way I'm cutting is the alternate day fasting diet. I eat every other day, one meal. So on that one meal, I eat 2 packages of the chicken thighs with the cartilage, which is 6 chicken thighs. But for one day, it averages to be 3 chicken thighs. But anyway, stay safe and try to stay healthy. And the world is full of scams, so try to understand what causes sickness and problems and fix those, and only then, if the problem persists, seek medical help. And I'm not saying that there wouldn't be any medical professionals who wouldn't instruct you to do what I just told you to do. I'm just saying that there are lots of predatory types, meaning that they just treat the symptoms, not the causes of those symptoms. Okay, bye.